Emily had been married to David Carter for 4 years. In that time, she had learned one hard truth. In the Carter household, she was not a daughter. She was the help. Every morning began the same way. Before sunrise, before David woke, Emily was in the kitchen, moving quietly, trying not to make a sound. "Emily, is that coffee I smell, or did you burn it again?" "It's almost ready, Linda. 2 scoops, light cream, just how you like it." "It better be. Last time I had to throw it out, and while you're at it, my heating pad is not in the drawer. I told you yesterday my knee was hurting. Do you even listen?" "I'm sorry. I'll find it after I set the table." "Find it? You should know where everything is by now. This is not a hotel, Emily. You live here. For free, I might add." Emily's hands trembled slightly as she poured the coffee. She hadn't eaten yet. She couldn't. Her blood sugar was already low, but she ignored the familiar dizziness. There was too much to do. "Morning, Mom. Morning, Em." "Good morning. Your lunch is on the counter, and I ironed the blue shirt you have the meeting in." "Thanks, babe. You're a lifesaver." Lifesaver? If she'd ironed it properly, there wouldn't be that crease on the collar. "Look at it, David. You're going to a meeting looking like you slept in your clothes." "Mom, it's fine. Emily does a lot around here." "She does what she's supposed to do." "That's not a lot. That's basic." "When I was her age, I was raising 2 kids, working part-time, and still had dinner on the table by 6. She can't even get the coffee right." Emily said nothing. She set the plate of eggs in front of Linda and stepped back, her hands clasped in front of her like a servant waiting for approval. Linda took a bite and pushed the plate away. "Too much pepper. I can't eat this. I've lost my appetite. David, I'll just have toast." Emily looked at the plate, then at David. He gave her a small, apologetic smile, but said nothing. He never said anything. That evening, Jessica Carter came over for dinner. Jessica was the daughter Linda always bragged about. She had the career, the car, the confidence, and she never missed a chance to remind Emily who the real daughter in the family was. "Mom, guess what? I got the promotion." "Oh, honey, that's wonderful. Regional director, right?" "Yes, I'm now officially the youngest regional director in the company's history." "Of course you are. You've always been brilliant." "David, did you hear that? Your sister's running the whole region." "That's great, Jess. Congratulations." "Thanks. So, Emily, did you make the casserole? I texted you the recipe last night." "Yes, I did. I used the low-sodium soup and added extra vegetables like you said." It smells okay, but it looks a little flat. Did you let it rest before serving?" "I'm not sure. I followed the instructions." "Ugh, it's dry, Emily. Really dry. Mom's right, you just don't have the touch." "She never will. She didn't even finish college. She reads those health books like she's some kind of doctor, but she can't make a simple casserole." "Health books? Emily, are you trying to be a nutritionist? Because, honey, the first lesson is that dry chicken doesn't count as healthy." Emily's face burned. She clutched the edge of the counter to steady herself. The dizziness was back, but she bit the inside of her cheek and forced a smile. "I'm sorry. I'll try harder next time." "You say that every time, and every time it's the same. You know, David could have married anyone. He chose you because you seem sweet, but sweet doesn't pay the bills or cook a decent meal." "Mom, that's enough." "Oh, don't be dramatic. I'm just being honest. Someone has to be." Jessica smirked and took another bite, not because she liked it, but because she knew it bothered Emily. Emily looked down at her own plate. She hadn't eaten all day. The room felt like it was spinning, but she forced herself to stay upright. She couldn't let them see her weakness. Not now. Late that night, while the house was quiet, Emily sat on the edge of the bed in the small guest room, the room Linda insisted she and David take because it was more practical. She opened a small black pouch. Inside was a blood glucose meter, test strips, and a vial of insulin. She pricked her finger, waited for the reading, and let out a shaky breath. 42. Dangerously low. "Emily, you okay?" "David, I didn't hear you." "Your glucose. How low?" 42. I need to treat it." Emily reached for a juice box she kept hidden in her nightstand drawer. She drank it quickly, her hand shaking. David sat beside her, his face tight with worry. "This is getting worse. The stress is going to kill you, Em." "I'm managing it. I've been managing it since I was 12. I know how to handle a low." "Managing it? You're hiding it from my mother and my sister. You're working yourself to the bone. You're not managing it. You're surviving it. There's a difference." "What choice do I have? If I tell your mom, she'll just say I'm making excuses. She already thinks I'm lazy. If she finds out I have diabetes, she'll think I'm broken." "You're not broken. To her, I am. To her, I'm the girl who didn't finish college, who can't cook right, who can't even get the coffee right. If she knew about this..." Her voice broke. She'd never let me forget it. I should say something. I should stand up to her. I feel like a coward. You're not a coward. You're her son. She loves you. She just wants what's best for you. You are what's best for me, Emily. You're the only thing that makes sense in my life. But I can't keep watching you destroy yourself to please her. I'm not destroying myself. I'm just trying to keep the peace. As long as I do what she asks, maybe one day she'll see that I'm not the enemy. David looked at the medical supplies spread out on the bed. The insulin, the needles, the glucose tabs, the blood pressure cuff. He looked at his wife, who was silently carrying the weight of a chronic illness and his mother's contempt. He felt a wave of guilt so heavy he could barely breathe. I'm sorry, Em. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I knew what I was signing up for. I just didn't know it would be this hard. The breaking point came on a Saturday afternoon. Linda was hosting a family barbecue for her sister and cousins. Emily had been up since 5 a.m, cleaning the patio, marinating the chicken, setting up tables. She hadn't eaten. She hadn't checked her blood sugar since waking. She told herself she'd do it after the guests arrived, but the guests never arrived before the collapse. Emily, where are the napkins? I told you to buy the nice ones, the blue ones with the sunflowers. These are the cheap ones from last year. I went to 3 stores, Linda. They didn't have the sunflower ones. I got these instead. These are ugly. My sister's going to think I live in a trailer park. Can't you do anything right? I'm sorry. I'll set them out with the good plates. It will look fine. Fine? Fine. My sister's husband is a lawyer. They eat at country clubs. You want me to serve them on plastic plates with cheap napkins? You're an embarrassment, Emily. Emily swayed on her feet. The kitchen seemed to tilt. She grabbed the edge of the counter to steady herself, but her vision blurred. Linda, I don't feel so good. I need to sit down. Oh, stop the drama. You're not sick. You're just lazy. You always pick the worst moment to play the victim. Go finish the potato salad. Emily took a step toward the sink. Her legs buckled. She collapsed to the kitchen floor, her body hitting the tile with a sickening thud. Her eyes rolled back and her breathing became shallow. Emily? I said go finish the potato salad. Emily! Linda turned. The sight of Emily lying motionless on the floor, her face gray and her lips blue, sent a jolt of pure terror through her. David! David! Call 911. Emily! Wake up! David burst into the kitchen. He saw Emily on the floor and immediately dropped to his knees. Emily! Can you hear me? Mom, what happened? I don't know. I just told her to get the potato salad and she fell. She's not moving. Oh God, is she breathing? She's breathing, but it's shallow. Call 911, Mom, now. Linda fumbled for her phone, her hand shaking so badly she could barely dial. The barbecue was forgotten. The napkins were forgotten. All that mattered was the pale, still figure on the kitchen floor. In the cold, sterile waiting room of St. Mary's Hospital, the pride of Linda Carter began to crumble. She expected the doctor to say Emily had fainted from exhaustion, maybe dehydration. The truth was much heavier. Mr. Carter? Yes, doctor. How is she? She's stable now, but this was a severe hypoglycemic episode. Her blood sugar dropped to 25. That's critically low. Blood sugar? Why would that happen? She's not diabetic. Actually, Mrs. Carter, your daughter-in-law has type 1 diabetes. She's been managing it privately for years, likely since childhood. It's an autoimmune condition. Her body doesn't produce insulin. She requires daily injections to survive. Diabetes? We didn't know. She never said anything. She didn't want to be a burden. She didn't want to give you another reason to call her weak, Mom. I didn't know. I called her lazy. I called her useless. Oh my God. The physical stress, combined with what the paramedics described as a high-tension environment, triggered this collapse. If she hadn't been brought in on time, this could have been fatal. She also had a note in her purse. A medical directive, but also something else. The doctor handed David a clear plastic bag containing Emily's personal belongings. Inside was her glucose meter, a vial of insulin, and a small, worn notebook. This appears to be a medical diary, but there are other entries. You should read it. David opened the notebook. The first pages were filled with blood sugar logs, insulin doses, and meal records. But then he found a page titled, For Linda. He began to read aloud. Linda's knee hurts in winter. Order the heated wrap from the pharmacy. She likes her coffee at 6:30, sharp, 2 scoops, light cream. Jessica is allergic to peanuts. Double check the brownie mix for the barbecue. David needs his blue shirt ironed for Monday meetings. Remember, Linda felt lonely since Dad died. Even if she yells, "I must smile." Linda covered her mouth with both hands. Tears streamed down her face, ruining her makeup. She looked at her son, then at her daughter, then at the floor. She was taking care of us all this time. I called her lazy. I called her a burden, and she was carrying the heaviest burden of all, alone. I called her dry chicken. I made fun of her health books. I didn't know. That's just it, Jess. You never bothered to know. Neither did you, Mom. She's been injecting herself with insulin in secret because she was terrified you'd think she was broken. And you did. You thought she was broken. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Emily woke to the soft beeping of a heart monitor. The room was quiet. Linda was sitting beside her, holding her hand, crying silently. Linda, I'm sorry. I forgot to put the potato salad in the fridge. The barbecue... Forget the barbecue, sweetheart. Forget the potato salad. Just get better. I'm okay. It was just a low. I should have checked my sugar. I'm sorry. No, you are not okay. You were sick, and you are the strongest woman I have ever known. Can you ever forgive me? I treated you like hired help when I should have treated you like my own daughter. You are my mom, Linda. I only ever wanted to make you proud. I am proud. Today, I am the proudest mother in this hospital. From now on, you won't lift a finger. I will learn to cook the food you need. I will drive you to every doctor's appointment. I will make sure you never have to hide your insulin in a drawer again. You don't have to do all that. I can manage. I know you can, but you shouldn't have to manage alone. That's what family's for. And you, Emily Carter, are my daughter. Not my daughter-in-law, my daughter. They embraced, crying. David watched from the doorway, smiling through his tears. Jessica stood behind him, feeling the sharp sting of shame for every cruel word she had ever spoken. Emily, I'm sorry for the casserole, for the comments, for everything. I was jealous, I think. Mom always talked about how hard you work, and I didn't want to admit it. It's okay, Jess. We all say things we don't mean. No, it's not okay. You were sick and I was making jokes. I'm going to be better. I promise. Linda reached into her purse and pulled out a small blue napkin, the one from the barbecue. She held it up. I found these in the guest bathroom. They're not the sunflower ones, but they're perfect because they were chosen by you. They're just napkins, Linda. No, sweetheart, they're a reminder. I spent so much time looking for the perfect napkins that I missed the perfect daughter standing right in front of me. It took a hospital bed for the Carter family to realize the value of the woman who held them together. Emily didn't need an apology. She needed a family. And finally, in the quiet of that hospital room, she found one.